This is Row Talk. Today's guest is Kiefer McBride. Yeah, it's good to see you again.
Good to see you too, actually. It's been a month, I guess, thereabouts.
Yeah, we did it at the end of July, I think.
hmm
So, how you been? You must have had a long day.
yeah, it was long. I started at 7 o'clock, and we had to basically the day involved delivering and installing a bed as well as two sets of stairs.
Bed and
Um,
two sets of stairs.
yeah,
Oh, okay. I mean,
uh, the,
I know about beds, but yeah, stairs must be more involved.
um, yeah. I mean, the installation is a lot of well, I mean, there is some finesse to it, I guess. Like knowing the balance points of the stair. Basically, you just dropped like it was a straight run. We just dropped it right into the rough opening. Well, I guess it wasn't technically a rough opening. They had drywalled it and everything. Um, but yeah, so I mean the set of stairs were very heavy, all solid maple, and the first one as we were dropping it in, it just kind of slid, and I don't think me or we had the contractor helping us, and I don't think he expected it to basically fall into the hole as fast as it did, and it kind of landed with a big bang. Yeah, so,
Oh, dang.
but it was okay. Nothing broke on it, no dents or anything.
Oh,
And
okay.
then the second one was a lot more graceful. Just kind of feathered its way down into the hole.
And you needed to install the stairs before you did the bed, I'm guessing?
Uh, well, we kind yeah, tech. Well, okay, so we dropped the bed off because the bed was for my boss's brother, so we just dropped it off at his place because he was also selling his trailer during the day. So we'd taken all of our stuff in his trailer, um, dropped the bed off, and then went to install the stairs. And I guess during that process, the guy who was buying the trailer showed up to take it. Um, and yeah, so we had to take all the tools out, put them back into his truck.
Oh, so was this two different jobs then?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Stairs were different than the beds.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking it was the same job, so I just thought, well, you got to climb up the stairs to put the bed.
Right.
Anyway,
Yeah, no, yeah, different job, but um, I don't know. That could have been fun. I mean, I'm still waiting for to use some kind of a cool pulley system or something like that, but
mm.
so far it hasn't happened.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Maybe one of
Well,
these days.
yeah. Um, yeah, you must be exhausted. But, thanks for doing this again.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, it's a pleasure.
So, yeah, last time was a month ago, and uh, we talked about a bunch of stuff. We talked about running,
Mm,
the garden,
mm.
uh, what is it? Coconut water, wanting to be a banana or something stupid like that. So, I mean, yeah. How's the garden?
Um, well, it's a mixed bag, I guess, in that a couple of sites are doing well, and then the one that um, one of the other sites, I guess, was kind of neglected, and the weeds took over. It's where we planted the onions, so the
Okay.
onions aren't, we still got a pretty big yield, but the onions themselves aren't the biggest. So of of the bunch of onions that we harvested. I think the bigger ones are going to be put aside for like using for cooking and stuff like that, and then the smaller ones are going to be pickled.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah, I've never had pickled onions.
oh, actually,
Huh.
you're
They're
missing
good.
out. Oh, well, it probably depends on the pickling recipe, but at the tree farm I worked at, the owners made pickled onions, and they were like, I ate them like candy. Like they were so
Ugh,
good.
some salty candy.
Basically, if like they sold them at the convenience stores, I would probably buy those over a bag of chips or chocolate bars or anything like
Oh yeah, it's like the sour key, but there's no sweet.
that.
It's you're basically. Is it just like eating salt?
No, it's more vinegary.
Oh yeah.
It's got a it's got a bite to it. Like it's kind of spicy, but um, yeah, vinegary and a bit spicy. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean the pickles I'm familiar with are Indian pickles, which is I mean it comes in all different types of vegetables. So the one I've been eating lately is a mango pickle.
Ooh.
So the thing about these Indian pickles is they're all red because it has chili and I don't know whatever else is in there. So it's really spicy. So
Mm,
you take a small piece, the size of a third of your index finger,
okay.
and it's good for a whole plate of food.
Really?
And
Wow.
yeah, I love that.
Yeah. Sweet. And is it like the because it's mango? Is it kind of like a chutney almost, or is it are they like strips of mango,
Um,
or is it like a paste, or what? I'm just.
well, they're hard pieces. They're pieces of mangoes,
Mhm.
but there are also squishy parts. I don't know what they are. So it's not really a chutney,
Okay.
but yeah, there's hard parts and squishy parts, and together they're delicious.
Nice.
So yeah, I eat it with my meal sometimes if
Mm,
I want more spice. So if I'm
mm,
having, let's see, sometimes I'll eat rice, some sweet potatoes, and some boiled peanuts. So I'll throw in some pickle in there just to add a little spice to
mm.
it.
Okay. Awesome. Do you
Yeah.
ever just eat the mango straight out of the?
Nah, dude, I don't want that diarrhea.
It's too spicy. Okay, I'm just trying to still picture what it's all about.
Mm.
Like you can get pickled beans that are like spicy pickled beans, but I'm guessing this is different.
Yeah, if you go to any grocery store, if they have an Indian section or an international section, they usually have pickled stuff in jars, and just look for something orange or red or yellow, and it's probably pickles.
Sorry, man. I giggled there because I was just imagining diarrhea. It's like someone going and getting pickled mangoes without really realizing what they're getting themselves into, and it's like, wow, I love mangoes and pickles. This must be the best combination. Just like mowing down,
Oh,
like an hour later, just be like, oh god, what have I done?
well, so the thing is, it doesn't look like mangoes. It looks like a
Oh,
paste. So
okay,
it's
okay,
not a chutney, but it is a paste,
okay,
but the
gotcha.
paste has hard pieces in it.
Right, okay,
So you wouldn't know that it was pickled mango unless you read the label.
right, okay, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, I'll have to try that out sometime.
Yeah, man. Next time we meet up, if I have some, I'll bring some, or we'll get
Awesome.
it somewhere. They're usually available anywhere. And yeah, it looks like we could be able to meet up sooner. Things are opening up, I guess.
Mm,
Uh, I mean, I certainly feel more comfortable going out.
mm,
A friend of mine told me the second wave is starting.
mm,
So I don't know if things are going to start closing down again, but
mm.
if they stay open, we could meet up somewhere. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be sweet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I guess what else have I been up to? So the garden, kind of harvesting some stuff. Running, I haven't been running. I hurt my heel, Achilles, like the tendons going from my heel up my leg.
Oh,
So right around my ankle area, I'm still playing soccer, but I think I decided I should probably cool off on the running because I was not doing it properly.
What happened?
Um, I think I was just pushing too hard and wasn't stretching, and basically destroyed my hip. um, yeah.
Damn, bro, that sucks. So what are you doing
Yeah.
to treat it? Are you putting some kind of cream or something?
Uh, being patient, I guess. I don't know. I haven't really done much really.
Well, like that's also a great way to do it, but if you
Just takes
don't,
longer, I guess.
takes longer, and it's not going to be as stretchy when it heals. That's
Mm,
my guess. So
hmm. Yeah, stretching is. I think that's the key. Uh, and I just never made it a habit in the time I started running.
mhm.
But now I guess I've learned the hard way. So,
Yeah, no, I feel you. That's exactly how I've learned. Right now, my low back is very stiff, so um, I think I'm overdoing my exercises day to day,
mm,
and it's surprising because overdoing it is, doing 20 squats, just body weight squats. But I gotta recalibrate and not be ashamed of doing less if that is something that will help.
mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's I think that's for me the running. That's part of it. Like not going full tilt, just like running as fast as I can for as long as I can. Um, when I get back into it, I'll get a proper pair of shoes and the little watch to monitor my heart rate and
Mhm.
find the comfortable heart rate within that. One of the guys, I think I may have with that
Yeah,
change
you
your
mentioned
heart rate.
something about it last time where you want to keep it in a certain zone.
Yeah, it's like the comfort, basically a comfortable zone where you can hold a conversation and you're not out of breath. And basically, by doing that, repeat it, build your base, and then from there you can, I guess, progress further. Um, but I think it's like building the base. I never really. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna jump off this 50-foot cliff. I didn't check to see if there were logs in the water.
Yeah, I know it's funny because that's the best way to do it when you're growing up, because that's the best way to learn. I mean, when you're a kid, you don't really have a wealth of experience, so first impressions are very impactful. But as you grow older, you got to train yourself to use more of a bank of experience, so to avoid injury. Hello?
What?
Okay. Yeah, the audio just cut out.
Oh, okay. I just said it as I can feel it these days that my body's more prone to injury and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. I have to do some kind of stretching or exercise. I mean, I'll take a day off, maybe once a week or something, but I've just forced myself to exercise so much that I just feel bad. Like I physically feel the need to do something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. It's important. Gets those endorphins going.
That's true. It's a great mood, adjuster. Like if you feel bad,
Yeah.
just go for a run or do some kind of movement, and it's funny. You feel better.
Mm. I don't know, like we're I guess Chinese grandparents, like the local school park, just doing their morning movements. And,
Oh yeah.
I always thought like, oh, I don't have the confidence to do that. Just like sitting in a park. I don't know, shaking their hips or like waving their arms around.
Hmm.
But it's definitely gonna, like, yeah, we're gonna live for a while yet.
Yeah, you gotta weigh on one side you have your body's ability to be healthy, mobile, and strong, and on the other side, the fear of looking stupid. Unfortunately, the fear of looking stupid takes over a lot of the times.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But the question is, are you willing to, how much are you willing to avoid looking stupid at the detriment of your health? That question is different for everybody.
Mm. My lifetime, geez, yeah, I think I've burnt a lot of bridges to avoid looking stupid. Hmm. um, yeah, no, I've got a fragile ego, actually. What can I say?
Man, but that's a great place to be because I'm the same way. Nowadays, I'm looking for ways to look stupid. Uh, I mean, I don't have great examples. Let's see. Well, I do have a great example. So, um, there's a soccer field nearby. So I've been going there every now and then to do some pull-ups and chin-ups
Mm,
and just running from goalpost to goalpost. So,
mm,
the first day, I don't really feel comfortable doing that, but I just kept going back.
mm,
And yeah, I mean, think you look stupid, you do it. After you do it a couple of times, you think, well, I've already done it. So
mm.
if I look stupid, I won't feel stupid because I've already done it a couple of times.
Yeah. Well, then I guess that's it. And then after a few weeks, it's like, oh, this feels natural. You don't even think twice about it.
That's right. Yeah. And the cool thing I learned about doing the pull-ups is one day it was raining. So I thought, well, I better not go because the goalpost is going to be slippery, so it's not safe.
Mm,
And I didn't have gloves at that time. But after my run, and I was running in the rain, I mean, that I'm okay with because I've done that before. So what I decided was, okay, I suspect that I won't be able to do the pull-ups, but let me go to the soccer field anyway, and let me go to the goalpost and let me just jump and grab onto it. So I
mm,
did that. It was slippery. I didn't do the pull-ups, and I just went home. But I knew that I had physically been there. So
mm,
it's like
mm,
you take all the steps that you need until you can't do it.
mm,
At that point, I could have done it anyway, but at that point, the goal was to build a memory for the body just to get there and be comfortable with the place. So if
yeah.
you're in one place in different weather conditions, you're more likely to feel comfortable there.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, yeah, what you said too about going through the steps until you reach that point where you know it's not possible is because it's easy to like create the obstacles in your head and be like, well, I'm justified because this, that, the other. But then until you actually get to that point and experience it, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I know for sure now that it's not
Yeah,
just like the imagination saying like, yeah, just stay home, play video games, because, and then justifying that by saying, oh, it's wet outside, I can't do it.
and that's the thing. If you justify it, you'll be thinking about it. But if
Mm,
you just go there, you can console yourself being, well, I went there. So
mm,
you're a
mm,
step closer than you would have been if you listen to your
mm,
thoughts. So like the nature of the thought uh, is to make things easy or be lazy. What is the most convenient thing?
mm.
And
Path of least resistance.
yeah, so that's the safe thing to do because you're not going to get injured. You're comfortable
Mm,
in a certain way, but um, I gotta learn to. What I do is I don't stop the thoughts. I let them come to me, and then I just do things in spite of my thoughts sometimes.
mm. You have no ownership over me, thought.
Well, because the thing is, when you do that enough times, your
Mm,
thoughts will start changing. Or even if they
mm,
don't, then you know you're not tied to what you think.
yeah, yeah, it's a huge leap.
It comes in handy because, like, with the pull-ups, for
Mm,
example, there I find them tough to do.
mm,
I can barely do two last time I tried. Um, but what I know is if I get those pull-ups out of the way, I know I've already done something difficult. So
mm.
whatever comes next, everyday life stuff, shopping or going out or talking with family, whatever comes up is going to be easier because I've already done something tough.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, yeah, awesome. Oh
Yeah, man.
man, I need to take a page out of your book actually.
Hey, man, this is the page. Conversations are the page that you need.
Yes. Um,
Yeah, I'll put this up on YouTube at some point and
sweet.
just listen to it again if you need that motivation. I
Hmm.
use whatever I can as motivation.
Mm,
I think I get it from my mom. She'll find anything to motivate her to do something.
mm,
So I think I've just learned that inherently, but it's definitely a skill to
yeah.
practice. I mean, some people have it inherently, or maybe
Right.
they've unknowingly just practiced over and over and over again.
Right. Yeah, good like mentors or role models kind of gave them the encouragement at the right time to persevere.
Yeah,
Or like directed their focus in such a way that that they were able to see stuff earlier on and develop good habits, I guess.
yeah. Or even if you don't have mentors, if you fail enough, you just learn that
Mm,
failing sucks. You feel bad, but if you keep succeeding,
yes,
you don't really learn something new.
actually, that's amazing. I just finished reading a book um, by Melissa Bank. I can see it on my shelf right now. Called "The Girl's Guide to Hunting and Fishing." And at the beginning of it basically each chapter is like a short story and kind of into this lady's life. And some of them focus on different characters. But, on his life, and at the beginning of each chapter, there's like a little poem or quote or a little poem about pretty deep, but basically becoming a master at failing. Because like the more you fail, the more you, it's like easy to fail, and it's not like how did she put it? Uh, kind of that feeling of oh shit, the collapse is coming if I don't get this done, kind of thing. um, but it was like a very nice reminder, like oh yeah, the more I fail, the more it becomes comfortable, and it won't be such a big thing in my head.
Hmm. Yeah, it's kind of like the 10,000 hour rule I learned about reading Malcolm Gladwell's book called Outliers.
Mm,
Um, I read that a long time ago, maybe 7 or 8 years ago. And the idea there was if you do something for 10,000 hours,
oh,
then you're basically a master.
right. Yeah. To read up on the details. I wonder though if that's I don't know. I feel like there are some people in the trade who their workmanship would.
I really hope that I get two recordings and this doesn't cut off the first recording, but we'll find out later. Anyway, now it's recording again.
Recording part two.
Part two. Yeah, you were saying something about workmanship.
Oh, that because you were saying that the Malcolm Gladwell book about 10,000 hours. Like if someone puts 10,000 hours into something, it's like the amount that you need to become a master. But I made the joke that like some people grades their workmanship could refute that
Oh yeah.
creator.
Well, I mean, it depends how you do it, right? If you put care into it,
Yeah,
definitely,
yeah, for sure. Yeah,
like someone who puts care into, let's see, building something in an hour will get more out of it than someone who carelessly does the same thing in 2 hours.
yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, and I think that's ultimately what the um, um, not the divide, but the thing that separates them, I guess. Like I don't know, you get this with every type of job, I guess, but the people who are in it just for the paycheck and
Mm.
gives them kind of the ability to, or that gives them the opportunity to just live comfortably and not have too much responsibility and just kind of coast, I guess. Which is fine. I mean, I've done that for a lot of my throughout my 20s, pretty much. Um,
Yeah, it's
what you said is true. Like, it's the focus, the care, the basically putting into it. Uh, you can notice.
yeah, it's yeah. I mean, there's no shame in just going to work to get a paycheck. I mean,
Mhm.
you gotta, for most people, you gotta earn money to survive comfortably. So
Yeah.
you gotta
Well,
do what you gotta do. But I'm just saying, when that part is taken care of, if it's
mhm.
taken care of, then you have a freedom to evolve evolve your lifestyle, and that's not
Yeah.
there for everybody. The opportunity is not there,
Yeah.
but when it is there, you know, it's definitely more enriching for your life to make something out of that freedom.
Mm. Yeah. I was told by like this acupuncture master, kind of hidden gem guy. He was in the martial arts hall of fame, did acupuncture, and was teaching his son how to do acupuncture. And anyways, he said that one of the most important things is to have a hobby, something that's like separate from work, separate from family, friends, that you can just kind of go off and do on your own. And for him, it was flying remote control airplanes, like building them and then
Oh,
flying them around.
see, that's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
and
gotta.
it has nothing to do with acupuncture or martial arts or anything of the sort. It was just something that he enjoyed, that he did on his own time, that took his mind off things.
Yeah, because the the thing is, well, to survive, you rely on other people. There's no way around it, and there may be a few people in the world that can survive on their own, but generally speaking, for me and you would rely on other people to live your life. So go to the grocery store, people are involved in getting food there.
Mm,
You buy shoes, people are involved in making shoes.
mm,
um, you have a garden, you have a group of people working to produce the food, right?
mm,
So um, you know in a way, one of your roles to play is to do what you got to do. You work, you earn, you work for your boss or a company, and you're providing a service and you get paid.
mm,
And nowadays, online and other places, you can provide services. Like I upload videos. In the future, if I want to monetize them, then
mm,
that's a service to provide to people, and then I can earn money. But if that's all you do, then there's nothing you're doing for yourself. And I don't know. I mean, I feel like that will just catch up with you at some point.
mm,
Um, I mean, I don't have a specific example in my life where that happened exactly, but the closest thing I think of is in high school. I was really focused on getting really like a specific uh, grade average one semester. I had a friend who had high marks, so I thought, all right, I'm going to beat this guy. I'm going to get a 95% average. And so you're fully focused on that. You work toward it, and I ended up with a 92% or something like that, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
But you just feel sad because you're invested in this result,
Right, right.
and you don't get what you're expecting. Um, so that's not exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
What you're talking about is, yeah, you got to do something for yourself that it doesn't matter. It doesn't have enough like that where you do you, and the
yeah,
results are left to you. It doesn't matter what anyone's opinion is, whatever effect it has on people. So for me,
right.
that's
Because
just sitting and focusing on breathing. But for this guy, it was
yeah,
flying airplanes, remote control airplanes.
yeah. Because I mean, if you think about it, like aside from sleeping, like you spend most of your waking life doing your job or working for other people, or so yeah, I think having that time to invest in something that you enjoy, because I don't know, I was growing up, I was often told that oh, you got to do what do what you like, get the job that you want to get. I mean, it's kind of to some degree. I think it's a bit more practical to and find a job that works towards your strengths, and it doesn't have to be something like the one thing you wanted to do since you were a kid, or but learn to enjoy it, and then have that thing on the side that is you can from whatever you do in your day job, you can then invest into the kind of the other activity or other activities.
Mm-hmm.
I never imagined when I was a kid that I'd be working. I mean, even now it's weird to say like, oh yeah, I'm a carpenter. Like I don't really identify with that.
Yeah.
Ever since well, probably grade seven, or well, earlier than that, I was supposed to be the drummer. I was going to be a drummer in a punk band, and then I was
Damn.
going to be a visual artist. All through high school, I was just drawing. I'm going to be an artist, and basically these jobs became like identities that I started to yeah, I identified with them. It was more ego driven, I guess, than anything.
What's your thing that you do for yourself?
Video games.
So what is it?
Video games.
Oh, well, that's good. But
No,
is it
it's
like an
I
online you play against other people?
no, I don't enjoy online games. Like I prefer the single player, like campaign
Yeah.
adventure type. Online is too like it. So yeah, I also play soccer, and when I played in the men's league, people were like, I don't think they can. There are a number of people who couldn't control their testosterone or their emotions, and were always angry at bad plays,
Yeah.
and it's 10 times worse playing online videos because some person is anonymous behind a screen and can just like spew whatever
Yeah.
like hateful nonsense. Oh, it's awful. I tried playing League of Legends, and it was uh, I don't know, it's too repetitious, I guess.
Yeah, it's I
uh,
feel the same way. I don't play video games much these days, but I never like playing against other people because I would always lose, and when you lose, you don't feel good.
there's there's that too. I know that in a single player campaign game, adventure game, I can win.
Yeah, it's kind of
Like,
like reading a novel or watching a
mm,
movie because you can there's already someone's already figured out the story, and you just have to play it within their story.
Hmm.
So I like that aspect of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the novels need to, and like other, well, I think more so novel than other visual medias, but because I feel like a lot of visual medias they hand too much to the viewer, so like the viewer doesn't have to imagine the setting, they don't have to imagine the character, they don't. There's a number of things that when you're reading, your imagination has to fill in the blanks. Um, Whereas with other, like when you watch a movie, you don't have to necessarily fill in any blanks because it's all handed to you. Depends on how it's written or um, yeah, how how it's produced, I guess.
Yeah.
Because there can be a lot of room for discussion, and like themes are brought up that can be related to other things. Um, but I think the novel is like as the actual process of reading is um, more of exercise than other other forms of entertainment or
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you because as far as time goes, it will take you way longer to read a novel than
mm,
to watch a movie. So
mm,
you might read a novel in 40 hours, but the movie will be 2 hours long.
mm, mm,
So the story in the movie could be very well told, and you might get the same out of it. Or, if you compare the novel to its movie version, it might be very similar. It gets the major plot points across.
mm.
But like you said, you got to spend in 40 hours reading a novel, whereas you put in 2 hours just kind of watching. Like, you probably, my guess is you use different parts of the brain
Yeah.
because like you have to put in the effort when you're reading a novel to follow along with the story.
Mm,
So you have to look at the page, you have to flip pages if you have a physical
mm,
book, you have to understand the words on the page, punctuation, etc., etc.
mm.
But on the screen, worst case scenario, you could just kind of zone out and you might still remember a couple of things.
Yeah, it's like I've been told, or a friend of mine quoted someone. I can't remember who this person was that he was quoting, but basically said that like visual media is like a hot bath that you get into, just kind of like washes over you,
Mm,
feels warm, and
okay.
it's like, yeah, well, I mean, maybe horror films or whatnot. That's a bit of a different story.
Yeah, I'm
Those
not
can
about
be.
those.
You should watch Oculus. That's a good one.
Okay.
It's
Where is it on Netflix or what?
oh no, I don't know. I think uh, most likely illegally.
Oh, well, it's online somewhere, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. It is pretty freaky. It's about a mirror that basically possesses people. These two kids, or I mean, they've grown up, but their parents were possessed by it. And they end up trying to um, get the mirror and then destroy it.
Oh.
It's yeah, just anyways. Sorry, I interrupted it with this stupid anecdote.
You know what's weird is like let's compare a 2 hour movie with a 5 minute YouTube video.
Mm,
Like let's say they have the same arc, it's it starts and it peaks at the climax and it kind of dies down at the end.
okay.
But let's say they're about different things. So I don't know how long John Wick is, but let's say you compare John Wick to what's a 5 minute video on YouTube. Let's see,
Mm,
like a sketch video, or like a do you
like
know
a short film or
yeah, short film, or some people have videos like uh, how people in car washes react, and then they do like kind of mock of people driving through the car
oh
wash,
okay.
making jokes and stuff like that. So you could tell a story. It'll follow the same arc, and for me personally, when I watch a movie, it's great to watch it, but after, all I remember is a few frames.
Mm,
So I might remember as much from watching a 2 hour movie than from watching a 5 minute YouTube video.
right.
And my guess is that I could probably discuss both with equal amount of depth.
Mm,
Isn't that weird?
hmm. Yeah, that is. I wonder if it's just information you're trying to receive.
Sorry, what was
Like,
that?
like our movie is a lot more so your brain retains bits and pieces that the important
Mm,
parts. Whereas a 5 minute film or little video, it's more condensed and
yeah.
um,
Yeah, it's so weird. Like you can you can watch 5 minute movies somewhere. I don't know why, but that just blows my mind.
yeah.
Like
uh,
imagine hanging out with your friends. Like, what movie should we watch tonight, guys? And you go to the theater and you watch a 5 minute movie, and then you leave. You'll be like, "We spent an hour getting here for this.
Paid $20 for
I thought you said we were gonna watch a movie. Yeah, it's 5 minutes. It's still a movie."
it. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's that. What was it? The my younger brother and sister watched them in Vines, I think, or
Oh yeah,
like the
those are
five
those are
second.
7 seconds or something like
Yeah.
that.
So I mean that in itself is interesting. Like telling telling a story in 7 seconds.
It's definitely creative, and I think it was
Mhm.
cool. I know Vines is no more now, but
Oh, okay.
you see longer videos on TikTok, I believe, maybe
Okay.
15, 30 seconds. So I think it's cool, but if you get that hit of excitement from a 7 second video, how many 7 second videos can you watch before you get exhausted?
2 hours worth.
But it must be exhausting because you're getting that that excitement like all the time for
Yeah.
2 hours. Whereas in a movie, you've got to
It's
sit through the slow parts, and be patient and get a
yes.
payoff. And sometimes the payoff might suck.
It's like listening to classical music. Beat part, a different theme is interwoven, but then it all kind of builds up to this big climax, and it's like you just for that moment where like the whole orchestra comes in and play the theme in like a certain variation. Oh man, Raphael Williams or Rachmaninoff's Piano Concerto Number 2.
Mhm.
Oh, whereas like in comparison to like pop song, which is kind of like it plateaus from like it's the same across the board, same
Mm,
intensity and same energy for like 3 to 5 minutes.
right. I never thought about it like that. I don't know. I'm not about that classical music because I only hear it in movies, and if
Ugh,
I hear it in movies and cartoons.
and it's mostly plagiarized, especially if it's John Williams. The
Oh,
worst. I
oh, is he a plagiarizer?
don't know. I don't know if he gives credit to the people he's borrowed themes from,
Is he the Star Wars guy?
but
Okay.
if you listen to Chopin's funeral march and then the Darth Vader theme, they are very similar.
Oh,
And then
well,
like
I mean,
I don't
Chopin doesn't have that copyright anymore, right?
know, I know, but he's won awards for this stuff. Like
Right.
I don't know, I'm just bitter. That's all.
Mm,
He's actually in terms of taking an emotional like or amplifying the emotional element of the scene.
mm,
Like he's brilliant. You know, he can write pieces that really have that that yeah like that really amplify the emotion that the movie's trying to get across.
hmm
Um, but in terms of like creative compositions. I'm just bitter because he borrows a lot from even Debussy. There's a part in his, I think Debussy's orchestral piece Nocturne, and it reminds me a lot of. It's only a small little section, but it reminds me a lot of a part in Star Wars. I think it's when Luke first sees Princess Leia,
Okay.
like when she's kind of locked up on one of the starships or something.
Okay.
I don't know. It's
Right. I don't remember the theme, but yeah.
It's like do 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 do, or something along those lines.
That's exactly what it sounds like. I remember now. I'm just kidding.
I was all proud for a second, like, wow, I can really sing.
Well, that's exactly what I remember. There was no instrument. It was just some guy going, do do
Just
do
do
do.
doing.
I'm sorry, but no, it doesn't ring a bell. But like the Darth Vader theme is so well known.
Yeah, like dun dun. Oh, another one, Jaws is.
Oh
right.
yeah, is that John Williams too?
Yeah, I think so. Or as Spielberg at least directed it, so I just assume as Spielberg directed it, John Williams did the soundtrack.
Yeah, it might be John Williams or James Horner. I'm not sure.
Okay, but the Dvorak's Ninth Symphony, New World, I think, or there's so Jaws is like da 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 da, and the beginning of movements is exactly like that, da 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 da. Dun, 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 dun. I'm like, I don't know. I'm just like, it's like recycled, but I guess that's how things are, though. You know, things get recycled and are seen as new, but if you kind of peel back the layers and look back at what's happened in the past, you're like, oh yeah, this stuff isn't actually as new and fresh as we thought it was. It's just been recycled.
I'm curious then, how do you feel about rap music with samples?
It depends. I feel a bit bitter towards DJs that play big clubs that more like rave type, that they make a lot of money and they like use other people's work. Whereas like I was talking to my brother's partner's aunt who plays piano in Toronto, and some of these musicians are like just scraping by and they're like the best musicians you've ever heard, but no one ever knows them. No one gives them the time of day. And then some like big name DJ plays for like 1 million people and makes like $200,000 a night, or what, I mean, exaggerated, I guess, but we make a lot of money to replay someone else's work.
Wow.
So I'm a bit bitter about that. But that's like in terms of like sampling music. I think if it's done respectfully, it's not a problem. Like, and it can then or like twist, or not twist it, but like rework a theme so that it kind of has like a new feel to it, or that can be pretty cool. It's like a collage of sorts,
Yeah, I never thought about shows. So yeah, I mean, I could, pay for a Spotify subscription, find a local band here in London who have, I don't know, like 100 listeners or something. And then I could just pass it off to someone who plays a big show. They play it, thousands of people listen to it, but then the band they get compensated one play on Spotify. Yeah, that's weird. That's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you'll pay, like, I don't know. It is weird. I'm not sure how it all works, or why it's got to the point it has.
But I mean, you could argue you get a lot of exposure just from one play at a giant show.
Yeah, but the thing too is that especially when it comes to sampling, like if you go to a live show, the DJ is not going to announce, all right, so this sample came from so and so on this album, and Like there's no, and I guess that's kind of why with John Williams, it's like I find it troubling because it's like, does he credit? You know, does I mean I haven't read interviews. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't.
It's a
But
good question.
there's a level of like it's when you write a research paper, you have to write your sources, right? Why isn't
Yeah,
that a thing for sampling and music? And you go to a show, there should be a pamphlet or I don't know something to make the listener aware of like where the source came from or what the source is.
yeah, that's interesting. I mean, yeah, maybe some people. I think, yeah, I wonder if some DJs upload their playlists, but I guess they wouldn't because then anyone could DJ that using their playlist. Yeah, I don't know how it works. It's
Yeah, me neither.
yeah,
it's
cool.
it's but yeah, I don't know. I really like classical music, so
Okay. Well,
um,
you know,
yeah, whatever that means.
I'm
Yeah.
not about it, but if I'm with you and you play me a, I was gonna say a classic tune, but it doesn't really work in this scenario. A classical tune. I don't know what you
Okay.
call it, because usually classic refers to classicals. So calling a classical song a classic is kind of stupid, I
One of the
think.
classics. Yeah, it is. It is kind of I don't know, not redundant, but
It's like chai tea. Have some tea.
yeah.
Um,
It's
anyway,
yeah.
what I'm trying to say is, uh, if you walk me through a song, I would
Mm,
probably, I know I would, I shouldn't say I know. I'm guessing I would have more interest because,
mm.
then you're experiencing the song with someone who is enjoying it. Whereas
Yeah.
most people don't because, you see it in a movie. You don't, unless you play the piano or some instrument,
Mm.
you don't really have an interest, or at least that's my assumption.
Right. And yeah, and to be fair too, like I don't. It's not like I love all classical music. Like, I really don't care for Mozart. A lot of what Beethoven did, some of his symphonies are fantastic, but other things like, not.
Mm.
Something. A lot of music I listen to reflects how I feel at the time. Um, and it's weird actually. Often when I'm more depressed, I'll listen to classical music or like avant-garde minimalist music. It just seems to fit the mood that I'm in.
Does it help you come out of the depression, or what does it do for you?
Um, yes, I guess because a lot of the time when I do feel more depressed, I'm kind of lost in my head, and I feel like that music's a bit more cerebral. So,
Oh,
um, yeah, like I don't, yeah, I, and especially with minimalist music, I think it's the repetition that I can kind of get locked in to, um, and with each like repetition, yeah, I don't know. You either I can feel like a different groove within the repetition, or it just kind of helps, I guess, the internal processing of whatever it is I'm going through. Kind of being stuck
okay.
in a rut, and then you listen to music that's repetitious, and then I don't know. There's a kind of I don't want to say cathartic feeling, but I guess maybe it's cathartic.
Okay. Yeah. Whatever helps you, man. Whatever works.
It's just something I've noticed. Like if I'm feeling down, I never listen to like upbeat music or I really
Oh yeah.
enjoy electronic music and never I when I'm feeling down, I rarely listen to electronic music.
Yeah. When I get sad vibes, I'll put on Continuum, the album by John Mayer, and
Okay,
then by the end of it, I'm just like, man, this album is real sad. I'm kind of tired being sad now. And then
right.
you kind of focus on being sad for an hour or however long the album is. So for me, it helps me kind of feel the feels and then
Mm-hmm.
put it aside.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That seems to be yeah.
Um,
Same, similar.
so I think we should end it because
Okay.
I'm kind of hungry.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, I started a bit late, but
Yeah, no worries.